They just love her. I mean, they just love her.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Oh, it's good.
She's pretty relaxed during this rally, you'll notice. And it's something I was kind of tripping out on. I was like, gosh, she seems so at home and relaxed. And it's because there's no pressure. She's pretty much got this voting block locked up. All she got to do is not screw this up. And so far, she got them just clapping and smiling. They look just so fresh and happy. So, yeah, it looks like this voting block here is all sold up and ready to go. So all she got to do is get through the next 19 minutes and she'll be all right.
Be back in Georgia. Thank you, everyone. Can we please hear it for Tyler? I want to thank Tyler for that incredible introduction. I invited him and several other young entrepreneurs to come and visit with me at the White House. And we had a really very long and important conversation about the future of America. And Tyler, you represent the best of our future. Thank you.
You and Tyler should have been talking about the future of black people in America. What is Tyler talking about the future of America with you? He need to be talking about something that's more relevant. And that's kind of the reason you're there in Atlanta right now, having that rally. Come on, Kamala. You got to quit pandering to the black people and give them something. No Democrat has ever done it. No Republican has ever done it. We come to a time when everybody's educated. Everybody know what you guys been doing. A lot of your speech looks foolish. Everybody know it's fake. It's time to turn it around and do right.
And please give it up for Quavo.
This is the part I can't stand.
And Megan.
The Stallion.
So it is so good to see everyone. And let me also thank our incredible members of Congress who are with us this evening. Senator John Ossoff, Senator Raphael Warnock, and Representative Nikema Williams, to Mayor Andre Dickens, thank you for welcoming me to Atlanta, and thank you to the great Stacey Abrams. Your extraordinary leadership. So, Georgia, it is so good to be back, and I am very clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state.
Yeah, it sure does. I just can't take it.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
You didn't do nothing in 2020. Why should we re-elect you? List your accomplishments, Kamala, for the people.
Yes, we will. So let's get right down. So I'm gonna get into some business now. Okay.
See, this fake black talk ain't cool either. I'm gonna get into some. We can't have that. It's so disrespectful. It's just unnecessary. Whatever you are, be it. Don't be coming in here trying to talk like black people or relate to them in any extra special way. You went to college with them. It should be a way more natural than what she's acting like. This is sickening.
I'm gonna get into some business now. All right.
Business.
So Georgia, as many of you know, before, and have a seat if you have a chair.
Another black guy. That's exactly. Grab a chair if you got a chair, you guys. You got somewhere to sit. She ain't black. She needs to stop pretending it. It's so false. It's so phony. And we are allowing it. They got some union members standing behind her or some city council interns, or I don't know who them people are, but They are smiling. Their faces are going to be sore tomorrow from grinning and faking and shaking, and she's just eating all this up, and it's sickening, because nowhere in this speech is she going to make a promise to these people or something that's going to benefit them. I think she's just way off the mark, and to be seeking the presidential, it's just not going to happen. She ain't getting in the White House. Not going to happen. You heard it here.
As many of you know, before I was elected vice president and before I was elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general and an elected district attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. So in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
And none of them were anything like Donald Trump. You locked up people for marijuana. You locked up black people. You did not lock up a whole bunch of white people, and you were not notorious for locking up white-collar criminals, so knock it off.
Predators who abuse women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me
Black people who smoked weed.
when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know the type. And I have been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. As a prosecutor, I specialize in child sexual abuse cases and sexual abuse cases. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse.
But it wasn't on children. Why you said children is disingenuous, and you're trying to mislead those people. You guys, I don't know if I can get through this. This is horrible. This lady just comes into our arena, come into our venues. We welcome her in, and she just lied to us. Brag about all the wonderful things that she has not done. She is in the White House administration currently. How in the heck is she complaining about the border when for 3.5 years it's been under their jurisdiction? Count the number of illegal immigrants who came in under Donald Trump's watch. Count the amount of illegal immigrants that came in under Biden and Kamala Harris's watch. She was specifically chosen to oversee the border and the border crisis. And it was way worse than it was with Donald Trump for sure, and many other presidents. But we're comparing apples to apples, and that would be Donald Trump and Biden, back-to-back presidents. It's a perfect opportunity for a rematch. Unfortunately, Biden couldn't make it, but this is what we're left with. A person who's passing herself off as an African-American, a black person, a graduate of Howard University, but no agenda for black people, no real love for black people, no real work that directly reflects her choice to be black. So we're going to move on. I just don't like Kamala. I hope I don't show it too good.
And as an attorney general, I held the big Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud, learning for accountants.
And when did black people start cheering for prosecutors? It just makes no sense. This woman's got up, down, and down, up. Makes no sense. I've never in my life seen a group of black people cheer like that for a prosecutor who's sitting up here bragging about locking up black people, basically, because that's what she did. She wasn't locking up Donald Trump's, I tell you that.
So in this campaign,
Not your record on the border. I'll bet you won't put your record on the border against his, because if you guys debate, that's going to come up. And the only thing you can say is something that is not true, because there's no way you can compare his record to yours on the border and win. In other areas you might, I don't know. I don't even believe that, but definitely not on that border. You're horrible down there.
Including, for example, on the issue of immigration. So I was the Attorney General of a border state. In that job, I walked underground tunnels between the United States and Mexico on that border with law enforcement officers. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted.
Ooh, she dealt with the worst of the worst. She needs to knock it off. She is a really good talker. She's an intelligent person. She speaks well. She lies well too. She uses a lot of eloquent words in speaking to a bunch of nothing. She hasn't spoke about one of her accomplishments. She's not going to speak about any offers to do anything for anybody of substance. She's speaking about the middle class specifically in this speech. These are obviously union workers or some middle class Atlanta African American majority group that they found.
In case after case, and I won. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
And you damn sure don't either. He don't and you don't. And that's the part right there. I just can't take it. Donald Trump is way more consistent in all of his wacky little rallies that he throw, but he is Donald Trump in each one. He doesn't morph into somebody new for each crowd he gets in front of. At least he's consistent. And he's about as far away from my vote as you are, but god dang it, for you to sit up and talk about him like he's some kind of person who has no credibility or a person who lies a lot, and you're lying about him lying in a lie, if that makes any sense. Jesus.
Worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill. Even the Border Patrol endorsed it. It was all set to pass. But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down.
Now, in 3.5 years, and over 10 million illegal aliens coming into the country, Trump was not the president. Yeah, so the problem is, you're trying to make Trump look like a liar, and he's way more consistent on all of his rallies. He's Trump no matter where he goes. You're Kamala here, and Kamala there, and Mula Mala there, and Mamala, and all these other people. And it's just an act. We don't know who you really are. Who's your platform? What's your platform? Who's your base? Speak to your base at some point and quit pretending like we're your base, even though I guess we are based on the way we vote, but we can do better. We can do so much better. I mean, we fight hard for these voting rights, not just to give our vote away. We don't die for a vote just to give it to somebody who's pretending to be black and using us to get in office so that they can really help the donors and the delegates and the other people who have real concerns that she's willing to listen to and not ours. It's just we vote and then we're supposed to feel like we saved the country because she won. That's our reward, is to vote for her so she can win, so we can feel like we saved the democracy once again. And the next time it'll be the democracy needs saving again and again. And the people who were enslaved in this country and who never ever were paid back any type of reparation, consistently being asked to save the country. Oh, can you come and vote and save the country again? They're going to lose the democracy. Well, this is a democracy that you should really ask yourself long and hard. Is it worth saving? Should we want to save it? If it's lost, what's going to happen? What are we going to end up in? You know, can it be worse than this? Is it going to be better than this? I don't know. But when you're working with people who represent you and who get up and pander and act the way she does, it's sickening, and it's irresponsible for us to vote for her and to keep getting mad when people call us a monolith, and then we go and all vote for people like her in the high 80s and 90s. Makes no sense. None.
Right. He tanked the bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election.
But Biden stopped the flow of traffic into the country because he thought it would make him win an election. Remember that? He said he couldn't do nothing. There's nothing he could do. And then his people said, you better stop the flow of people coming in just until this election's over. He stopped it. He did what he said he couldn't do. And we know about that. So don't say that Trump tanked anything. Trump was not in the White House. When you guys are in the White House, you better learn how to legally maneuver your way around in there and not be relying on the ex-president to pass your agenda. That shouldn't happen. If he told everybody to vote no, that ain't his fault. It's your fault for not being able to push it through some other way or do what Biden did. Shut down the border like he did, which he said he couldn't do, but he did. You know what I mean? What's wrong with that man?
Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security.
You were the border czar, and you're complaining about Donald Trump. For 3.5 years, Kamala Harris was the border czar, and she's got nerve to blame Donald Trump for making the... This is ridiculous. She was the border czar. This isn't like someone else in the administration was, and she was a part of that. She was the border czar, the one who they said never went down there. Although I don't think you physically have to go to the border to do good. I don't feel like a photo shoot laying next to the borderline, that's not that. You don't need to show that. You need to show some action. You need to show some numbers. You need to show something that can be tracked. And quit lying to us. We tired of the lying, Kamala. Trump is right. He's a liar. There's no doubt. But he calls you a liar, and he's right. You lie a lot.